Here are my future predictions for education. Hello, my name is Portia Smith, also known as Mrs. Teacher Lady, and today I'm going to talk to you about flipped classroom as an emerging technology. You can find me using such technologies on my Instagram at Mrs. Teacher Lady HMS. I'm going to start us off with a quote, and our quote comes from Plato. Do not train a child to learn by harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. Is a flipped classroom old news? Some may argue yes, as it was founded by Jonathan Berkman and Aaron Sams in 2007. It had PowerPoints and utilized online lectures. Some may argue no, including myself, as new technologies are available today and will be available in the next 10 years. We have one-to-one ratios emerging, higher number of students with computers in their homes, and daring young teachers breaking into the education field. Also, we have a new do-it-yourself generation. So, what will the future hold in the next 10 short years? Students will be at the center of every lesson. Teachers will be able to flatten the walls of the classroom to allow for exploration. And students will control the direction of their education. So, the flipped classroom is very similar to the inside out model. And the inside out framework by Teach Thought shows us that the flipped classroom and inside out learning should include or encompass these 9 things: 5 learning actuators, changing habits, transparency, self initiated transfer, mentoring and community, changing roles, climate of assessment, thought and abstraction, and expanding literacies. So, our flipped classroom learning looks like video games when learning simulators, acknowledging limits in scale, academic practice, fertilize innovation and design, connected mentoring, project-based learning, honoring uncertainty, supporting systems of levels and divergent thinking, gamification, and publishing will replace grades in the next 10 years. So these are all my predictions, and these are things that are currently going on in flipped learning. So, who are today's students? If we figure out who today's students are, we may be better equipped to assist the students in 10 years from now. So, today's students can be best described as do it yourself generation. So, we're dealing with Generation Zs who were born after after the millennials, and this is around the mid 1990s to the early 2000s. And then we have your do-it-yourself generation, where the students of today prefer to learn through the way of the world and doing with rich technology that we have today. So, how will teaching change in the next 10 years? Collaboration will be the key to everything, and the students' lively voices will fill the classes, and they'll be able to ask those pressing questions, think critically, and engage with one another. So, in the future, there will also be no more grades. Grades will be a thing of the past as educational leaders find that Generation Z is not motivated by grades and approval, but by self interest. And finally, there will only be project based learning. Instead of state tests, students will show their mastery through projects, as it should be. Differentiation. What will differentiation look like in 10 years? Differentiation will be self pacing, gamification, and immediate feedback. There will be flexibility, learning for all, pause and rewind, ask questions. Gamification, students will be able to practice, enjoy mastery, and interactive. They'll be able to have immediate feedback. They'll have dedicated face to face time, teacher input, and support. And all of this is allotted through the use of flipping the class. So, tools to flip for. If after watching my presentation you're thinking, well, I'd like to try that, these are some great tools to get you started. Screencastify, which records activity on screen and allows for video inlay. Google Slides is a fresh take on PowerPoint that can be shared with ease. And finally, Powtoons. If you're tired of those old PowerPoints and slides, Powtoons turns any lesson into a colorful cartoon. 96% of teachers who have flipped a lesson would recommend that method to others, and 9 out of 10 teachers noticed a positive change in student engagement since flipping their classroom, up 80% from 2012. There's a 100% chance of success if you just give it a try. The future is a lot closer than you think. So, in the next 10 years, education could look like this. It could be all student based, student centered, and where they interact with technology on a daily basis, allowing for the teacher to differentiate what is taught and what students learn so that education can be accessible for all. Thank you.